Allen. Weather with meteorologist Ron Harris. And sports with Ron Lisnett.
Stand this warm weather.
Are you excited that summertime has finally made it? Well, excited as well. People are just joyous that summertime has made it here to Maine, as we can clearly see. No. Could I just ask you a quick question? Very simple.
Quick now.
No. Could I get under that umbrella? The weatherman didn't tell me that it was going to rain today. I was wondering, did you know that today is a very special day? I'm getting wet here. Did you realize today's a very special day?
No.
It's the first day of summer. Had you not known that?
21st, right.
And does that mean anything special to you?
No. No.
No special plans now that summer's here?
No.
Well, thanks for the umbrella anyhow. I'm drying off. Thank you very much. Special plans for the summer? Exactly. My plans as well. So as you can see, summertime means a variety of things, as I said, to a variety of people. And, well, for myself, summertime means I don't have to sweat it out over any big snowstorms. I just have to sit in my old hot corner in the blistering corner of the weather office and sweat it out there. That's the difference to me. But I hope you all have a wonderful summer, everyone. Have a happy and safe one as well. And I guess have a tasty one, too. Delicious. And boy, oh boy, that ice cream was delicious as well. Putting on a little weight, why not celebrate for the first day of summer? Beautiful sunshine out there. Speaking of ice cream, I scream, you scream, we all scream about the jet stream. That's the reason we have our problems. Swinging in out of the northwest to the Great Lakes and to our south. And as long as it's to our south, the cold air is to the north. And during the day, we get the heat, and that energy sparks up showers and thunderstorms. Call it a summer bummer today with those showers, even some hail, pea to marble size here at the studio.
19-year-old Kirk Malott of Bangor was traveling.
Hee-haw, Saturdays at 7.
The business at hand we're all concerned about is the weekend weather forecast. To tell us about it, Ron Harris.
And once again, we're going to come through with flying colors. We're looking pretty good around here. Once again, beautiful weather continuing. It'll be the opposite of sour, and we'll have lots of sunshine power. But again, we have to set the clocks back 1 hour. We'll go back in time in the forecast right after this. Well, right now we've got the big breeze, but coming up over the weekend's a case of the beauties. That's the good news. Lots of nice weather through much of the upcoming weekend. Right now across New England and right at the airport, dew point 32, relative humidity 36%, nice and dry as the front is offshore, barometer 29.78 and rising. Another good sign. High today, we did it again, a pair of sixes and the low of 58. That's 17 degrees above the normal, so we continue warmer than normal. More on that shortly. Strong northwesterly winds gusting to 36 miles per hour in Limestone today, 30 miles per hour off to the south towards Hartford, gusting to 25 in Boston with a temperature of 65, quite mild to the south. Colder air hasn't quite penetrated down there. Strong northwesterly winds continuing, mostly 50s out in the Green Mountain State, and we are in, of course, that gusty northwesterly grip, but it'll be easing up as the night wears on. A lot of people asking me about heating degree days because that's what's going to be coming up and what we're talking about more and more as we get into the colder weather. Very simply put, a lot of people get confused on it. It's simply the number of degrees by which the average daily temperature falls below a standard. We use the standard of 65 degrees as the mean, meaning that temperature of 65 as a mean temperature is when little or no heat is required. All you have to do, for an example, is if you have an average temperature on one day of 42 degrees, simply take that and subtract it from the 65, and you will get 23. 65 minus the 42, so 23 heating degree day units on that day. What are the purposes for some of this stuff? Well, this is what we're talking about. A lot of fuel supplies have to look at this and see what they're going to do in terms of their schedule and how much they're going to have to use during the upcoming season. Also, building design. What kind of structure do you have to build for a home, and what area, climatologically speaking, for the best fuel consumption? And also, you have to look for indoor comfort, the most cost-effective ways you can look at heating degree days as well. So this is one of the things that you look at. For instance, a building in Chicago would take, would you believe, 4 times the heat capacity as the same similar type structure building down in New Orleans. So that's one of the reasons we look at heating degree days. Now you can all sleep easier, I'm sure. Out to the radar roundup. Where's the precipitation? off through Texas and southwestward. Carries a sigh of relief on that. Showers and thunderstorms through San Angelo, Texas. Quite a bit of rainfall. They have reported 2 inches of rain down there. More showers in the southern plains, but mostly dry in here. Look at these warm temperatures. 75 Atlantic City, New Jersey. 84 beautiful record-shattering degrees in Wilmington, North Carolina. The temperatures have some zip down here. Choice chip is what's coming in our direction for the weekend. Lots of sunshine. We do have to watch a system off to the northwest. A few showers clipping western Montana on toward Washington State. Could bring a brief shower, especially north and west during Sunday. But other than that, we are looking super. The eye from the sky right now is showing us, first of all, across New England. We can see the front right on here, which has pushed offshore. Now the winds roar. Look how nicely it cleaned out in the coastal plain. Clouds stacking in the mountains. Out to the west, mostly cloudy in the northwest. Otherwise, the sun at its best one more time with beautiful weather down here. Again, the showers up across Washington State. Broadview shows much of the country is simply dry. This system we're watching with a close eye could cause more rainfall for the western Gulf Coast states. Current national map, delightful, delicious, dandy, dry. Take your pick of them. It continues beautiful out here. It will continue because by tomorrow, look what we have got. High pressure moving to the coast, and that means to that we can toast. Beautiful weather. Just a glancing glow on the temperatures tonight. Let's look at the overnight lows. 30s and some low 20s in some areas. Just a glancing glow. Southern plains, that's what you're looking at. Gung-ho 60s and even some lower 70s overnight lows. Here we go, folks. Don't forget, this weekend, Saturday night, before you go to bed, you want to set the clock back because we go back in time, going back to standard time as we are now in daylight savings time, but you set the clock back, so you must remember fall is back. Now, why'd I do that? Not to make yourself think that I'm a nut, even though I am, of course. Also, I want you to remember the main reason is that you'll say, oh, you remember he fell back? Set your clocks back and do it. You want to remember do it before you go to bed, because if you have a Halloween party during the morning, you're going to be holding your head. It's going to be more of a task. How about if we go out to the Maritime, see what's happening? Oh, no 10 out there. Temperature's 10 degrees Celsius, but a lot of shower activity across much of the island. Temperature about 13 degrees Celsius in Yarmouth. Gusty winds across New Brunswick. Temperatures mostly in the mid-teens Celsius. Breezy and balmy out here. Clearing out in the Maritimes, most of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, a nice sunny day tomorrow, although Newfoundland, you can look for more showers tomorrow and tomorrow night. We'll take a peek at the past week and the upcoming weekend weather coming up right after this. Well, it's Friday night. We can take a peek at the past week, and this is what we're looking at. Look at the temperatures on the average versus the actual. Every day we were above normal except on Monday. Average temperatures should be in the 50s. We were 66 both on Wednesday and today, and that means those dreaded heating degree days come back at you, but beautiful number, 82 for that time period. We should have had 97. That means your wallet stays bigger. Beautiful weather continues as we had our Indian summer-like weather. How about the marine scene running from Eastport to the Merrimack River? Small craft advisories in effect for the strong northwest winds. Seas averaging 2 to 4 feet. Your weather will be fair and the visibility 5 miles or better. Bar Harbor high tide 9:50 this evening and low tide coming up at 4:02 tomorrow morning. So the beautiful weather forecast goes as follows. For Bangor, Brewer, and vicinity tonight, it'll be a bit on the brisk side. Watch out for that. You'll need your autumn jacket. Starry skies. Lows dropping down into the mid and upper 30s. Isolated spots will be closer to freezing to the north and west. For tomorrow, we'll call for a gorgeous gleamer. Lots of sunshine. Highs will be near 60 degrees, once again above normal despite the fact that a cold front slipped by during today. Tomorrow night, another nice one on tap. Wispies will be around, light winds, still mild, should be in the mid-30s. It'll be in the lower 40s. And to close out the weekend on Sunday, we'll call for a kind of a mixed sky with clouds and sunshine, maybe a shower, especially north and west, and that would be later in the day. Look at those temperatures again, way up in the mid and upper 60s, some places near 70 degrees with the sunshine. So we continue warmer than normal.
That's unbelievable. How about... Oh, we have a surprise for Mr. Harris today. A gentleman is going to be escorting. Where are you going to be escorting, Ron?
We're taking him to the Bangor Mall for mutilization, English language.
You're taking me to the Bangor Mall?
Yes, right now.
Let me interpret this, ladies and gentlemen. Ron will be going to the Bangor Mall. He must raise $100 for the American Cancer Society. Ron's got to make the phone calls. He will not get out of jail until he gets the money.
This is a joke, isn't it?
This is not a joke, ladies and gentlemen. Ron has been arrested.
I gave you a good forecast, okay.
But that's just the bottom line. Ron's a good sport, you know, and speaking of sports, Ron Lisnet will be back with sports right after this. Stay with us.
Fatal floodwaters smashed through the Shenandoah Valley area. Here in West Virginia, the water was out of control like a monster swallowing anything in its grasp rather than a river. In historic Harper's Ferry, water levels were threatening the records which had been set by Hurricane Agnes 13 years ago. In Front Royal, Virginia, the rising waters overtook homes and businesses, and over 10,000 people have been forced to evacuate from this one storm. The scenes in Hancock, Maryland were just as bad. The Potomac jumped its banks and swallowed 1/3 of the town's business district. The books in the town library were left behind like treasures at the bottom of a sea. This was the setting for much of Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and portions of Pennsylvania. Take West Virginia alone. 22 counties have applied for federal disaster relief. Roads and bridges have been washed away, homes totally destroyed, trailer homes flipped over by the overpowering force of the floods, and 40 large steel barges broke loose in Pittsburgh. Damage estimates are already soaring into the hundreds of millions of dollars. It may be time for some to start the cleanup, but for others, including Washington, D.C. and Richmond, Virginia, it's time to face reality. The reality that floodwaters are heading downstream toward the more heavily populated countrysides. And only time will tell what they will swallow in their path. The super flood of '85 isn't over yet.
Okay, we are down at the Bangor State Fair once again in the Midway and having a great time. A beautiful day to be out here as well. And we are in the old candy stand down here, the cotton candy stand. I guess they call it the, well, the English joint, I understand as well. And who do we have right beside me? What's your name?
Nick England.
Nick England. How appropriate. From England, I take it.
Yes, certainly am.
Okay, and he's going to give us a quick lesson on how to make this cotton candy, which I guess has been selling like cotton cakes. I don't know. Anyhow, let's see just what you have to do.
Well, first of all, you pour the sugar in there, which I've already done. And then you heat it up, which I've done, and it comes out like this. You basically take it like
Okay.
that. Yeah, don't take it like that.
Okay. All right. Thought it was... no,
This didn't come out very
okay,
well.
this is...
Because it's only
I almost got it right in the mouth, but that's okay. There we go.
That's what I've done today.
There we go.
Just keep wrapping it around like that.
Just wrap it around and around, huh?
Yeah, certainly do.
And that's pretty much it.
That's it, yeah.
And you do this all day long.
Yeah. But not on the stick, because it's a real mess.
And is this the low-calorie stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, low calorie. Anyhow, let's before I get to the weather, we have a special star here with me as well. Sir, could you come here 1 minute? We have, believe it or not, this is Dave Harris. This is my little big brother here. Little big brother Dave. Welcome aboard coming down to the fair. How you doing?
Good, thanks, man. How you doing?
All right, nice to see you again.
With the cotton candy.
Not quite as big as him. I wouldn't have jumped away if I had been him. But anyhow, Dave came up and he's here and finally making his TV appearance. He's not camera shy either. Camera's right over there, Davey boy. Okay, we're having a great time, and also you get two Harrises, so if you think you're seeing double, you probably will be by the end of this. I mean, I don't know what we're trying to do to Maine, having two of us do this. Nonetheless, I used to pick on this guy, believe it or not, when I was a little one. Now his neck's about the size of my two thighs put together. Don't lose your temper on me. We'll go on to the weather, what's going on right now across the country, and we see the following. First of all, well, we're going to start with a thrust of August, because August starts in tomorrow, and this is what we're expecting. Well, it's the last full month of summertime, one of the more active months for tropical storms as well. We have to watch tropical storms. The Azores Bermuda High takes up the entire Atlantic Ocean, mean position near North Carolina and near Cape Hatteras. The mean jet stream is north of the U.S. border, and that means it's mostly a fair weather pattern, but we also have to watch for tropical storms and moisture along the East Coast, but it is the most intense month for intense droughts as well. Highest temperature ever for the month of August was in Greenland Ranch, California, way up at about 178 feet, where it was 127 degrees on the Fahrenheit scale. We'll go in and check out the national weather map and the flow features for today, and it's indicating the following. Well, today the clouds were like cotton candy, huh? What a beautiful day for it, and it's spooling out here beautifully, selling that cotton candy like crazy. But to the south, showers and thunderstorms, nearly 2 inches of rain off to the south in Charleston, South Carolina. Rainy and rotten, not like cotton, the candy that we got here. They've got the rain out to our west. Portions of the Dakotas and Iowa and Illinois. That's coming in tomorrow night, the way it looks. Cool out to the west in Montana. Hot in Gila Bend, Arizona, where it was 101. And rain they've gotten. That's what they got out in the Pacific Northwest, the way it looks at this time. We'll take a look at the variables the way they appeared earlier today across the New England area, and especially right here in Bangor. Temperature 79, dew point 47. That's comfortable. Relative humidity 32%. I guess since that dew point's so low, they're having trouble making these stick to the old sticks, the cotton candy that is, so they're bagging it mostly. Winds northwest at 15 knots, and the barometer 30.01 rising. Skies are on the partly sunny side, just some of those cottony clouds. Across New England's 6-state region, well, we'll call it fairly nice, if you know what I'm talking about, here at the Bangor Bangor State Fair. A pretty nice one across the Pine Tree State, mostly in the 70s to near 80. 86 in Boston, 85 down to the southwest in Hartford. High was 80 and the low of 63. Now back in history on the state, July the 30th, 1960, 25 years ago today. Oh, these candy apples, I can't concentrate. They are looking nice. Tropical Storm Brenda on the move, and it was on the move on a line from New York City to Hartford, Concord, and in Greenville, so it did move awfully close, and western areas were hit pretty hard with heavy rain, least in the east, no big problem, but Bangor's record high was near 100, 99. That occurred in 1949. By the way, we were 88 just 2 years ago in 1983. We'll go back to the Maritimes quickly, and we'll be able to see Newfoundland has a temperature of 21 Celsius, 23 as you head towards Gander, a shower, and Dale Lake. I thought I just got some cotton in my hair, some cotton candy. Well, I'll make myself a little sweet. Nonetheless, we get the spotty sun across Prince Edward Island, where it's 20 on the Celsius scale. In Charlottetown, the capital, clouds cluttering some areas of New Brunswick, where it's 22 in Chatham. Off to the south and West St. John's, 24. And in the capital, Fredericton, 23 on the Celsius scale. Be back with the forecast, which is going to whet your appetite, cotton candy and alike, and of course the marine scene coming up right after this message.
When your baby is in bed, how does he sleep? Like the baby on the left who's all soggy? Or the baby on the right who's wearing Loves? He's sleeping in drier nighties and sheets because Loves help stop leaking, and that keeps him more comfortable. So if his nighties stay drier, just imagine how much happier he wakes up. Your baby's comfort begins with Loves.
Financing a breakthrough.
4.9% for 4 days only.
Only at Northeast Chrysler Plymouth Isuzu.
Gesundheit.
That's right, 4.9% for 4 days only.
Friday, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Save on Chrysler New Yorkers, Lasers, and Fifth Avenue.
Save on LeBaron convertible station wagon 2 and 4 doors.
Plus Plymouth Grand Furies and Caravelles.
That's 4.9.
4 days only.
Only at Northeast Chrysler Plymouth
Isuzu.
Okay, we're back at the Bangor State Fair with the cotton candy. Today, just dandy. Isn't that handy for the Bangor State Fair, huh? Beautiful day across the area. How about the beach and boating forecast? Shaping up this way. Eastport to the Merrimack River, up to 25 miles offshore. Look for the winds to be mostly west-northwest, 5 to 15 knots. Northerly tomorrow, increasing out of the northeast tomorrow night. Seas 1 to 3 feet. The visibility lowering to 2 to 4 miles. It'll be clouding up with the chance of some rain spreading down the coast. High tide Bar Harbor after 10:30 tonight, and a low tide 5:03 tomorrow morning. So the forecast for Bangor, Brewer, and vicinity shaping up this way for the remainder of tonight. Well, starless skies and a bit nippy. Lows will be near 50 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny start and a fading finish as high clouds increase, mid-70s, mostly low humidity. Tomorrow night, some periodic rain, drizzle, and fog, heavier to the south. Lows will be dropping down into the mid-50s. And the way it appears now for Thursday, there'll be some showers around, rather raw, with highs mostly into the upper 60s on that day. So all in all, to put it in a nutshell, short and sweet. It'll be mostly nice tomorrow, then going downhill. I'm the one who's short. This stuff is sweet. How about if I put this in front of my face? Now we can say Ron Harris did have a sweet face. Finally, someone can say that, huh? Anyhow, we've got the cotton candy. We're having a great time. We're going to go back to the studio where, well, if you don't have a sweet tooth, you can go to the News Plus 7 booth later on tonight. How about that? Check out Ron Wolf, the wonderful guy, or even Carrie Allen, believe it or not, or I suppose that Ron Lisnett. Nonetheless, let's go back to the studio.
Ron, you're just waiting for some insults. We're going to give it to you.
He deserves it, that's for sure.
I think if they knock over the milk bottles, they get Ron as a prize at the fair.
He's got a fetish for cotton candy today, doesn't he?
I think so.
I know it. Well, we have an exclusive interview with Billy Swift, at least Ron Lisnett did.
Yes, this weekend we were down at Fenway Park and we talked to Billy Swift, who's doing quite well for himself in the major leagues for the Seattle Mariners.
It's 4 degrees Celsius, also 4 in Chatham, 7 in Fredericton. The clouds starting to creep in slowly. They're not too loud, these clouds, but they may release some showers by about dawn. We'll check out the details of my forecast and beach and boating forecast for you coming up right after this. Good evening, everyone. While we're in downtown Bangor, 1984 is going to go out kind of quiet. 1985 might come in like a riot, though. We're watching precipitation, which is going to be moving northeastward. We'll take a look at that national weather map, going inside the studio and be able to show you what's happening. First of all, there is low pressure trying to develop off the coast.
coastline, a cold front associated with that storm, a lot of moisture and winter worries. We're going to ring in the snooze, so to speak, here in the Northeast as we ring in the new and get rid of the old, huh? Bringing in 1985. We're having a great time down here. And there are tough twisters, though, off to the south, though, in all seriousness, with a lot of hot and humid air clashing with the colder weather. Winter worries as well, with snow, sleet, and freezing rain through the Midwest. And as I said all night, it wouldn't get in here before midnight. No big deal, and it's doing just that. Moving in during tomorrow afternoon. 17 below zero is the high in Havre, Montana, with a few laughs on that. Easy for us to say out here under the warmth in Bangor, huh? Well, we'll go onwards and take a look at the satellite shot, which is showing the following. First of all, you can see a large swath of moisture running from the Gulf of Mexico and northward. All of that moisture is going to be racing northeastward, and as it does so, it's going to enhance the precipitation quite a bit as well. Off to the south and east through Florida, warm and humid, nice sunshine, temperatures into the 80s, while out in the west it's a horse of a different color, and the color is white. Temperatures bitter, bitter cold, and it's that cold air which may make an appearance here in Bangor during about Friday as the moisture becomes blowing and the horns are arriving already, and the New Year's just little ways away. We'll go on and take a look at history on this date, and back in history on this date, it was quite a different story. Weathermania tells us down east was hit with a beast, a big snowstorm, very heavy snowfall, and in fact there was nearly 4 feet of the white stuff back in 1962. At this very same time, a blizzard was coming to an end, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it was down to 0 to 15 below zero, and many communities were isolated due to the heavier snowfall during that time. A lot of weather to talk about, and a lot of weather going on across the nation, but we're down here live in Bangor, and we're talking about the idea that we're going to be getting a lot of precipitation during tomorrow and the day after. Now again, most of it is going to hold off until tomorrow afternoon into the evening, when driving will become treacherous with snow, sleet, and freezing rain at that time. The snow, sleet, and freezing rain. But until then, down here we have a lot going on. We have, first of all, a lot of balloons. We will have 1,985 balloons going off at midnight, and several hundred of them will have surprises in them as well. And also we have free hot chocolate. We have a lot more than that too. We have fireworks going off at midnight, the dropping of the balloon. The Maine National Bank will be lighting up, and we have breakfast around here for $1.07 and more. Northeast winds, which will be at 10 to 20 knots. This is from Eastport to the Merrimack River and up to 25 miles offshore. They'll shift into the south at 15 to 25 knots tomorrow, bringing in the warmer air and the moisture. Seas averaging 1 to 3 feet, and then building tomorrow to 3 to 5 feet or better. Visibility 1 to 3 miles in precipitation, and your weather is for some snow and rain, which will be developing, spreading down east as the day progresses. So it's forecast time here in the last few minutes of 1984. Well, it's Friday night time to take a peek at the past, no, not the week, peek at the past month. And we'll take a look at what January is like, a juiceless January, I'm calling it. Very little in the way of precipitation, extremely dry, bone dry, below normal temperatures as well. Caribou had almost an inch of the precipitation, flirting with an inch, but as you can see, Bangor only 0.39 inches. And look at that, 11% of the normal in Bangor.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jim. No major changes in the forecast anticipated. Meteorologists dream being out here in the snowfall. What a job. Oh, yes, indeed, as it comes down. Oh, whoopee. Snow falling down several inches to our south and more to come. It's a light, fluffy kind of a snow, so it's going to pile up. The only change I see is there's more moisture with the system, so I am upping my accumulations to more in the range of 4.
Skyscan update with meteorologist Ron Harris.
Good evening, everyone. If you've taken a look out the window, you know Old Man Winter has returned, and we're just getting into this thing. We've got a pretty long road to go. We continue to get data in support of the development of a storm, and it's moving in our direction. Where is it? Let's take a look at the current national map, which is showing low pressure, which is out over New York State. It's that low, which is slowly moving at a snail's pace in our direction, has a pretty good swath of heavy snow with it, and that's going to be moving in mainly after midnight. It'll be coming down quite hard. Note the cold front far out to the west. The two are going to team up, and as they do, the storm is going to explode along the coastline. What that means is a period of heavy snow, and then it's really going to blow tomorrow afternoon. Strong northwesterly winds. We're talking about low wind chill factors, blowing and drifting snow. We'll have all the details coming up at 11 o'clock. Well, tomorrow, as you may know, is officially spring, but I've got something else to spring on you. Old Man Winter, alive and kicking. Oh boy, headed our way. But right now, setting the stage at the airport, dew point of 48, visibility 4 miles, and some